like to think of it as a terror film. Horror film seems to somehow direct, somehow to the audience, I think, to the beholder. I think terror seems to be a deep-seated thing which is involved in the participants or the people involved in the story. The film Alien is about what I like to call, or what we fondly now call, the 7, truck drivers in space are woken up from hypersleep, hibernation, by the ship's computer, and who tells them that there is a transmission coming in which they are obliged to go and investigate on their way home, on their homeward journey.
Morning, Mother.
When 2001 occurred, I think science fiction no longer became science fiction, it really became science fact. And was no longer fantasy, because the effects were no longer a little not so good. They were, you weren't expected as an audience to sit there and expected to believe in something when you could see it wasn't really happening, I think, because you knew it was an effect. Can I release the zoom? Is there an... Nick, could we do that if we start level, almost nose down, as she starts to hit the strata, can you do that? Like a Concorde, yeah? So let's see it. How fast can that happen? All special effects, I think, are difficult. Special effects really depends on how long one goes on, persevering, reworking, looking what you've done, reappraising, and then doing it again. They land on a very small asteroid, and on the asteroid, 3 of them encounter something rather nasty and peculiar, and that's where it really begins.
Kill drive engines.
The derelict is a flying machine, and I think if one does encounter, something at some point or other, I think it will be just so peculiar that it will be like nothing we expect. I wanted to do something which would evoke, I think, immediate, slightly gothic revulsion. It's sort of spooky, but it's sort of elegant, but there's something very worrying about it. I think the broad difficulties of any feature film is shooting dramatic things out of sequence and pre-deciding just what level an actor or an actress will be at a certain point and what their reaction would be at that moment in time.
When I get back is to get some decent food. You can dig it.
I think in one way it was rather that we were fortunate by chance planning what I would call the kitchen scene, or pretty well near the front of the filming. And it somehow firmly established the level that we were at in both the minds of the actors and in my own mind.
What's the matter? The food ain't that bad, baby. You choking? What's wrong? What?
There comes a point where you can't just work emotionally. You've got to, or instinctively, I find anyway, that I literally will sit down and write a sort of almost drama graph, or fear graph, if you like, knowing where I want it to happen in relation. Let's say there are seven or more sequences in the film involving specific, let's say, audience anticipation and fear. And the outcome maybe will be that I'll show something or won't be, I won't show something. Right? The best audiences that I've seen come out relieved, but they're smiling and wondering, okay, but they're smiling because they know they've been put on the line for 2 hours. And they come out and realize it was all a fantasy, maybe. From an audience point of view, the identification with the real character is very important, specifically in this instance because it deals with terror. So if they are horrified by the terror that the member of cast that they identify most with, then that's terrific.